Sleep mode.
The first ever virtual NFL draft came and went. Like, look at me. You can tell I'm a real football guy. You can tell I'm a real rugged man's man. But yet again, I didn't get drafted. But I found a better position to play.
Boom.
John Madden football historian. I dove back into the making of the first ever John Madden football. The football franchise we know and love came by way of a rocky marriage. Just like me, your baby boy. A marriage between a company who refused to cut corners and a company known for its innovative game physics. See, the joke here is that you ask public opinion nowadays, response would be the opposite of what I just said. It's shocking, isn't it? The game of football wouldn't be the same without Trip Hawkins. I bet based on his name you thought he was a player, not the founder of EA, huh? Fooled ya. Back in 1972, he wrote his knowledge of X's and O's as zeros and ones for a microcomputer attempting to simulate that year's Super Bowl result, settling on Miami Dolphins over the Minnesota Vikings 23-6. But then he had to go trash that code because it was way, way off. It's 24-7. Yeah, the Vikings lost on a last-minute Mutterhosen. Oh, it's when the quarterback squats down real low and he lets the wind just right up to the... But if you talk to Hawkins about his football love, he won't reminisce about the taste of Gatorade or the smell of soggy grass. He'll go on about Kool-Aid and the smell of, well, there's no adjective to describe, plastic, because tabletop football was his shit. And his computer savviness made him stoked to bring the Stratomatic's gridiron simulation to video games. So if you're keeping track, he wants to make the video game version of a tabletop game simulating another game. If Inception memes were still in style, I think we dropped one right here. Oh, look at that. Retro. After getting a financial boost from working at a little-known company called Apple, Hawkins opened up Electronic Arts in 1982 to finally fulfill his pigskin purpose. Like all things creative, everything went exactly to plan. 3 years later, EA released Joe Montana Football, a game where you can control 4 to 6 of your favorite... Oh, well, that's a load of Bronco shit! Because what actually happened was Joe Montana had a pre-existing contract with Atari, so EA had to intercept commercial personality John Madden of Tenactin fame on his train commute to work and pitch their concept for his blessing. And if there's two things John Madden knows, it's football and how to haggle on a goddamn train, because football ain't a sport with 4-ish people. It's 11 on 11, sweaty, loud, a lot of colorful lines everywhere, gladiatorial, battling, Brett Favre bombing that rock. Oh, he caught it on his bum! Look at that! That's the Mutterhosen! Oh, it strikes twice! That's John Madden football. So EA had some work to do, and Madden was pushed further into the future. On the other side of the land, sick with football fever, was Christopher Weaver, software developer, scientist extraordinaire. He found a job at Universal Studios where somebody showed him their fresh hunk of a junk of a football game. Weaver was blown away by how mind-numbingly boring it was. So he tinkered around, adding much-needed physical life to the game. Behold, Bethesda Software's first ever game, Gridiron. Eyes! Please, skip past the cyborg startup noise. God, it'd be easy to make fun of this because of the graphics we have today. But if these clashing checker pieces don't hype you up, you're not human. Tackle him, pass him, king me, fuck it, I'm buying his jersey. EA realized Gridiron was a game physics breakthrough they couldn't beat. So they hired Bethesda to craft Madden with their engine. In return, EA would sell copies of Gridiron for the spunky new upstart. Fair deal, cool deal, and that never happened. Seeing the shelves suspiciously absent of colored circle combat, Bethesda dropped out of the partnership and dropped the law book on EA. This went from Dream Team to my cousin Finny real quick. The details of the case remain mysterious since they settled it out of court, on the football court. Bethesda's physics code remained scrambled in Madden when it was finally released, and according to Weaver, still lives in Madden even today. I find that hard to believe. You're telling me the engine that pioneered this is the same one that's responsible for this? I mean, I just don't see the similarities. So, for whatever reason, the companies couldn't just play ball and give us the perfect fusion between a decent physics engine and sleek design. As the great John Madden would call this lack of sportsmanship. Comparisons are odious. Oh wait, hold on a second. Some yards is better than none yards. It's the tagline for EA Sports. Now the Madden franchise is as annual a tradition as football season itself. I do my American duty and spike a Bud Light whenever I see the commercials. But with the game's rotating cover of star athletes came a strange curse. The featured athlete always seemed to suffer misfortune one way or another. They either started sucking or getting injured. And in the nature of sportsmanship, fans began voting their least favorite players onto the cover. So it's not like a Cheerios box, more of like a digital death note. I'm not one for superstition, but I can't overlook the fact that poltergeists form from unfinished business. Unfinished business that looked like it started in Game 1. And speaking of Game 1, that'll never come because here in 2020, sports are canceled.